Continuing the tradition of revolutionary youth is to be militant, to be conscious, to be resilient, to understand the larger social, political, and economic inequalities in our world, and to look at these inequalities not just on your own, but with the masses, the most exploited population, because they are the ones who feel the brunt of these inequalities the most.
We are the bloodline of the revolutionary movement. It's our duty as people in the peaks of our lives to continue to mobilize the masses, to make sure that our movement has the support in order to tackle on the problems that have been plaguing our people for generations.
I think that the role of the youth in our movement should not just be about uplifting ourselves, but helping to uplift the different sectors of society. Because I think the youth in particular have that energy and willingness to listen and learn from different people.
We need the youth in the movement because we need to pass it on to them, because as we get older, we start losing time to dedicate to the movement. So we need the youth to really uproot themselves.
Within the revolutionary movements, historically, it is the youth who dare to be the most progressive and idealistic voices.
To continue the revolutionary tradition, the youth means to learn from the lessons of those who came before us, but also to further and advance the movement until victory.
Continuing the revolutionary tradition of the youth, number one is about educating ourselves. The youth in the Philippines during martial law, they got together and educated themselves, and they studied many different theories to prepare them to fight for their rights and welfare.
I think the role of the ND movement is, of the youth in the ND movement, is to be the proponents of change and the ones to be the spread the word.
The significance of the revolutionary tradition of the youth is an acknowledgement and the harnessing of power behind masses represented by the youth.
As people's rights come under heavier siege, we, the youth, are called to organize now more than ever. Not only because we provide new life to people's movements everywhere, but because the attacks on the youth's right to education, livelihood, and other civil and political rights are an attack to the rights of the rest of the oppressed sections of our society.
These three basic problems of feudalism, of bureaucratic capitalism, and imperialism continue to oppress our people, and this is a fight that we need to keep on fighting.
And to be a revolutionary youth is to understand and to stand in solidarity with the most exploited.
What does it mean to continue the revolutionary tradition of the youth? I think for me, that means that we must, as youth, continue to bring that energy into the movement for national democracy, and to, just when we are in school, continue to be critical thinkers and not just take what is given to us organic, but be able to question things and provide our own input as well in order for the greater good, in order to think about not just about ourselves and individualism, but to think about the collective.
We also have to remember to march in step with the workers and the most oppressed in our society.
A lot of the problems and issues that we see in society, it can be really daunting if we're trying to tackle it by ourselves, but we have a collective power, and when we unite all together and unite our collective interests, we can fight for a brighter future that we all deserve.
So as youth, it is our role to be bold and to continue to lead the way and fight for the world that we want to live in.
We are the makers of social change, and we have the energy and passion to build the future that we deserve.